Awesome crowd tonight. I think it was a great carryover from the Capital game. Just the vibe, the energy level, the students, band, dance, cheer, like just the community. It's great to have everybody back, and hopefully we keep building on it. Great team win.
Speaking of having everybody back, Jason Carter had good numbers, but I thought his work on the defensive end opened up so many other things for you. Could you touch on how he impacted this outcome in both ways tonight?
Yeah, coming from Xavier, he was basically told if he missed his first 3-year shot, don't shoot again. And we kind of had to reprogram his brain of like, hey, look, when you're open, shoot the ball. And I kind of used the phrase of, hey, when you miss, look down. When you see the color green, green means go, right? Just keep shooting. And I thought the first half he was a little tentative, drove the ball in there a couple times, and then second half, he got going. But his defensive work on Muzinski, who's an absolute load down there, was really good. And, he's the one that basically told us, like, hey, let me play one-on-one with him. I'll make him shoot tough shots over top of me. And he cramped up there at the end, which he'll be fine. But I thought his defense was really good just to be able to neutralize.
It allowed you to stay at home on the perimeter, right?
Yeah, that was a big key coming in, thank you. That was a big key coming in because they got such great shooters around them. They do such a great job of playing off of them. And when I was at Ohio State, we had a kid, Jared Solinger. When teams would double team him, we would beat him by 30 plus. When they'd single, play him, he'd have 40 and we win by 20. So we knew, we had to give up something. And, we wanted to give up a tough contested 2 instead of a wide open 3.
You guys shot very well from the three-point range tonight, 43%, and there was points where almost your three-point percentage almost eclipsed the total field goal percentage, What can you kind of comment on the three-shot from beyond the arc today and kind of how you're going to develop that going forward?
Yeah, like we talked about yesterday, we wanted to get post touches. The way they guard you with digging off their perimeter guys, that was going to be a big part of our game plan. And to be honest, I thought we missed some wide open ones. We could have had more. But I think we talked about, hey, you're going to get a good shot, pass it up for a great shot. Post touches, paint touches. And I guarantee you when we clip this thing up tonight, we're going to have more than 20 plus post touches and good things happen when the ball went in there. And, it was kind of we just kept going to BVP. And, I told our staff, like, it's not overcomplicate things. Just kept throwing it into him. And, he did a great job of scoring down low in the first half, carrying us, which opened up a lot of things in the second half.
Coach, somebody who didn't miss from the three-point line, Mark Sears, obviously heck of a debut for him. Talk a little bit about his performance tonight.
Yeah, disappointed. He missed one shot and one free throw, but we'll let him slide on this one. I think the most. Oh no, here we go. Don't cough. I think the best thing about him, he's an attacker, penetrator, and we kept on telling him, like, hey, look, when you drive in that gap, they're going to really, really help. And, in the first half, he kind of drove in there a couple times, got the ball stolen, but he learned from it and didn't do it again. And he's a gamer. He's got a knack to score. They went under ball screens. He stepped up, hit threes, and, nothing phases the kid. He's such a laid-back, kid. To be in a game like this, of this magnitude, from day one of starting, it's just, going to keep building on it.
Yeah, he also did a number on the other end against Murphy. Obviously a big target for you coming in this game. How were you able to lock him down on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think, Murphy's one of the best point guards. His statistics are crazy. I think he's going to be the all-time assist and steals leader in whatever conference. It's like, he reminded me of Aaron Kraft a little bit. Takes big shots for him, makes everyone else around him better, and just great defensively. So, I thought we did a pretty good job of keeping him in front, making him finish tough shots over top of us. And, we lost him a couple times where we overhelped, especially they're late. They hit a corner 3 when JC got cramped up. But, I think both ends of the floor he was really good.
Were you surprised Mark? Not surprised that Mark played well, but you got making his first start. He's replacing Jason Preston. He's going against a pretty good guy on the other side. The way he handled that whole situation and kind of stayed within himself and didn't try to press.
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's just such a laid-back kid. Like, nothing phases him. Like last year when he came in, when JC strained his hamstring, he came in and looked like he was a sophomore, junior, and had started before. And I think he had a great summer. He stayed here summer 1 and summer 2. He put the time and the work into it. But I think he's got a great self-confidence about him, and I think you're going to see more games out of him that kind of rival this one.
Did you feel like the players really fed off the crowd? Like that first timeout, Vanderplas dived over the table and the whole team came out. It just seemed like there was a lot of energy with the team.
Yeah, that was awesome. And obviously I'm a little biased, and I played here, but when this place gets loud, it gets rocking. And hopefully, like I said, we continue to build on this with the community, the students, because it's a tough home court to play on. And I like to see when guys make those hustle plays, they get rewarded, right? That gets them into it. And the crowd's huge.
Is this kind of a tone setter win for you guys to begin the season? To begin the season, win against a perennial contender for the OVC championship. Their third-year coach is 52-11 going into tonight. Is this kind of a tone setter for you guys?
Yeah, I kind of liken it to a MAC championship game from day one, right? I mean, that's the type of level of game that it was, and the opponent that it was. And they're going to win a lot of games. That's a really good team. And for our guys to kind of set the tone, like you said, from game one. And we got a tough stretch here. I mean, we got to go to Cleveland State, who's picked to win their league. We got a quick turnaround against a really good Robert Morris team, and then we go to Kentucky. So I think for our guys, just taking it one game at a time. I thought they did a great job from the Capital game. That night, taking care of their bodies. They came in the next day. The preparation to win, we always talk about, like, don't ever get tired of preparing to win. And it's tough, right? You got to sacrifice some things. You got to get your rest, get your sleep, get your treatment. And, as long as we kind of have that mentality of game by game, and not get too far ahead of ourselves, which I think our guys do. I think we talked about before, the maturity of this team is kind of, what I really took out of this summer and fall. And that starts with, BVP, Jason Carter, Ben, Roderick, London McDay, guys who've been in the program for a couple of years.
Despite the win, do you think that there was anything that this team can still improve on as we head into that game next week?
Yeah, most definitely. The best way to learn is from winning. It's always like, hey, you can learn from losing. Well, you can learn from winning too. And we'll break the tape down, and we can definitely get better at some things. And that's the beauty of the journey, of the process. Kind of my mindset, our mindset is a growth mindset of just getting better every day, every game. And you're not going to win every game, but you want to play the right way. You want to be able to execute, do some things, and that team poses a lot of problems, in a lot of areas. So we had to do multiple things, preparation-wise, which will help us down the road at some point.
Jason Carter basically left the week you were hired here. What kind of vetting process did you do in bringing him back? Who did you talk to? What did you hear? And how has he acclimated himself so well? And looks like he's going to be a big part of what you're doing all season.
Yeah, that whole process, when I got the job, I wanted to keep him. I think there have been some things going on in the last few months from Xavier's side that he was probably leaving whether I was here or not. But I talked to him, told him what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. I know his high school coach really well, and basically told him, like, look, I want you to be here, but if you got 1 foot out, leave. This is too special of a place. We're going to win whether you're here or not. And he ended up leaving, and we had a few scholarships open up from transfers, and his best friend's our GA, Mike Chiefaclue. And Chief came to me and basically said, hey, would you be interested in Jason, if he were to transfer? And my first thought was, I'm going to ask Jason Preston and Ben Vanderplas, because like I told those guys, he didn't leave me, he left them. And both those two said 100%, he fits our culture, he's a great kid, be a great chemistry guy. And so that was kind of the vetting process. And Jason and I had about 4 or 5 conversations that were really, really good. And that's how it happened.
And your team's in a unique spot too, because the two guys initiating your offense are Vanderplas and Carter, and they're kind of the same guy. What kind of benefits or advantages is there into having this combo forward types be the ones to kind of initiate plays and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, the way our offense is, if you have two guys like that, it's going to be really hard to take something away. Because if you put the 5-man on BVP, right, you can flip JC down there. And that was kind of our game plan. Hey, whoever Muzinski's guarding, the other guy's going to post up. And, I think Jason Carter's going to continue building and gaining confidence. And, what do you have, a double-double tonight, I think?
Yeah.
Just hit some threes and big thing with him, green means go, man. Keep shooting that thing.
And then Coach, kind of building off of that, BVP and Jason were both freshman roommates. How easy was that for you and those two guys coming back to just kind of plug them in there and let them go with that chemistry already built?
Yeah, I mean, it's different because, when they're both here, they both have different roles, right? And then Jason left, and BVP kind of evolved into who he's become. And, coming back, it wasn't, it took some time. And I think those guys really feed off each other. The more they play together, the better chemistry they're going to have. And I mean, they're two phenomenal people. Just great leaders, great teammates, great players. Just the epitome of who we want in our program.
Kind of building off of that, just how much of a leader has been Vanderplas, like in the locker room, on court, just in general?
Yeah, I think when Jason Preston left, he kind of knew this was his team in a sense, and he's been vocal in conditioning, weightlifting, practice, locker room, video, and my first year wasn't like that. We had to kind of teach and educate and coach how to be a leader with those guys because they'd never done it before, and I think BVP sometimes gets in his own head if he misses a shot or makes a mistake. And it happened during this game. He got fouled and he lost the ball to bounds. They called a turnover, and he had that look on his face. I'm like, talk to me. He's like, they grabbed my arm and it should have been a foul. Yep, it should have been, but next play. And I think so. He's evolved in a lot of areas, and leadership's been one of them.
Anything else for Coach? Okay, thanks, everyone.
All right, happy Tuesday. See y'all hopefully on Monday.
Mark, obviously, this is your first game of the season. You just kind of killed it out there, 27 points, 6 rebounds, coming out and starting the season against having the quality win against a quality team like this. Kind of, what is this going to look like for you guys come the next week when you guys are going up against, all these big teams like this?
Yeah, Coach, he put together a great game plan, and we just stuck together and we executed, and the results came.
You were drilling those 3-pointers in the first half. What kind of came to you? Was it just kind of a good night, or have you been practicing those?
I was just shooting with confidence and putting extra shots, and your work, trust it, and it always pay off.
Did you need a game like this, Mark? Like, everyone knows the guy who was running point last year, and that's a quick way to make them forget when you go, what were you, 10 of 11 from the field. Can you describe what it was like to have that in your first game out, replacing a really good guy in Jason?
We just throw it in the post, and they'll double team the post and kick out easy threes. So it's wide open threes.
So Mark, shifting gears a little bit, you guys were active on the defensive end too, getting hands and passing lanes. Talk a little bit about the defensive performance from both of you guys tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big emphasis for us going into this game, especially on the defensive end. Like, they're a high-powered offense. I think we look at their stats last year, they were averaging well over 80 points a game, and they move it really well. So we knew coming into this game, we worked on a lot of what they do on the offensive end to guard it, and I think we executed it really well tonight.
How did this feel for you, Jason, coming back here and playing a high-level opponent, your first game out there, and playing well and leaving it all on the floor?
I ain't gonna lie, it felt really good. I mean, nerves got to me a little at the beginning. It was just like, kind of like, wow, this actually happened. Like, I never would have thought I'd be in this position, entering my college career, 6 years, transferred and then transferred back. So, it was just a good feeling, and it was really fun to play with those guys tonight.
Did it feel surreal? A little out of body almost?
Yeah, I mean, especially having the fans back, that was amazing. That was an amazing crowd. And, just with these guys, it made it that much more fun and enjoyable.
The keeling over on the bench area, Was that a cramp issue, or was that something else we gotta keep an eye on?
Oh, no, it was just cramp, a lot of sweating too much, didn't get enough fluids today, so.
And Mark, it was 58-58, been back and forth the whole way. What was kind of the key of that run you guys had to push it up to 18?
Oh, just defense. Stop them and then get rebounds, look to push it, and that got wide open shots for us.
Jason, you were facing a pretty good guy in the post, and Ohio didn't double much at all tonight in the post. What was the approach there, and how did you hold up, and was the philosophy, hey, let's not give anything up to everyone else and take our chances one-on-one inside?
Yeah, so they obviously surround him with 4 high-level shooters. So, that was a game plan coming in. I felt confident that I could guard him one-on-one and make him take enough tough shots that he'd have to beat us. And I think we executed the game plan really well.
You guys were shooting very well from beyond the arc today. Kind of how crucial were some of those three-pointers, when the offense was kind of slowing down or close out the half, like that shot from BVP to close out the first half?
Those ones, especially at the end of the half, they just, I know being on the other side of that, it's a killer, but it felt really good. And then we were just getting really good shots, getting the inside-out looks. And, we just kept shooting them and shooting with confidence, and we all believe in each other. And we never got down. If we missed one, it was, all right, you got to shoot the next one. So.
Your first time through here, Jason, you weren't able to sync up with Ben Vanderplas. You two were close, and because of leg injuries galore, you never were able to go full go at the same time. What's it like knowing that that's going to be the case this season?
Oh, it's awesome. Like, we're having a great time already on the floor, like in practice, just figuring out like certain things that we didn't get to do the first time around. And, we just have a really good chemistry on and off the court, being roommates and all the first time. And, I think we're going to have fun this year.
Does some of that chemistry bleed over across the roster, Mark? You guys shared the ball extraordinarily well again tonight. Lots of assists and a lot of extra passes being made out there.
Yes, sir. Coach, he always preaches on make the extra pass for a good shot, and that's what we did.
What was the mentality slowing down Grayson Murphy? Did coach say something before the game that slowed down?
He just said maintain him, keep him in front, and that's it. That's pretty much it.
Did you look at this like a measuring stick game, Mark? It's a 2-time player of the year, opposite point guard of you tonight, and if you look at the box score, you won the head-to-head matchup.
I didn't really look into that. I just, like I said, stick to coach's game plan, and I watch film on him to see what he likes to do and what he doesn't like to do.
What do you say now that you know that you all played one of the better point guards in the country tonight, your first game as a starter?
It's just good to get the win. Great team win.
Anything else for the guys? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.